guys. Good morning and welcome to Above Life Channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and to fill you with hope on this Monday video. Hi, good morning. I'm early today. Aren't you impressed? Come on, you got to be impressed. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so let's get started with our conversation today. I got my little altar over here. You guys it's not on camera, but I am going to light an incense to start our day. Hello, Miss Seal. Hello from Tennessee there. We are going to light this. It actually smells, this is a cinnamon twist from Salish Winds. It is very sacral chakra-ish, and that's a good, let's see if I can light this bad boy up here. There we go. Light it up. You're going to have to just imagine the scent of cinnamon. Imagine the scent of cinnamon burning. We're going to talk about some stuff related to Valentine's this week. We're going to talk about twin flames and soulmates. We're going to have a conversation about that. Hello, Anne. Good morning to you as well. Nice to see you in the chat. Want to make a note that when you are watching this video on the replay, you can check out the description below because I have new links to services there that you might want to partake in. Our Inspiring Psychic Experience group this month is actually meeting on the 29th of February on the leap year. So if you want to join that, it is a small group, literally old school kind of psychic question and answer kind of vibe. So it's a fun, energetic, and interactive experience. So you might want to join that. So anybody can join. It is on Zoom. And I record it because when people get like psychic Q&A answered, they want to kind of make sure that they can listen to that back. And so that's what we do. All right, so let me just check to make sure. I'm going to go down my sound. I have balloons, although they're, yes, I have balloons in the background. I'm just reminded. I have to make note of all my birthday things that I've gotten. Last week, one of my dear friends ordered some cakes for me. Some little bundt cakes. And when I went over to my sister's and we had a great old time eating those cakes. And she also got me balloons, beautiful balloons. And then I also showed off my snake earrings yesterday that I got also, but I got those from my person in Maine. And so those are awesome. So, and I showed you I shared with you my cookies. If you watch me on TikTok, Above Life Channel, you've seen some of my extra stuff that I did and what I did on my birthday last week. So now we're sliding into Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day isn't always a fun day for people. Okay, let's just legit admit that. I mean, at least there's good chocolate and there'll be clearance chocolate sales after. So if you like chocolate or candies or whatever, that'll be great. Or stuffed animals, you can go treat yourself and do that. For me, my thing has been, and again, if you follow me on TikTok, Above Life Channel, Dunkin' Donuts. This season, I have been into the pink velvet macchiato made with almond milk hot. A small one because it's a lot of sugar. But yummy. Good morning. Hi, Dawn. Nice to see you. Yes, I am doing well. Thank you. I am actually. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. All right. Yeah, I'm back to doing sessions, by the way. I did 2. I doubled up last week on Friday. I did 2 sessions in a day, and I've only been doing like 1 here and there. And now I can work again. So I'm like, okay. It's like a switch flipped, and all of a sudden, like my brain's back, and I'm able to do stuff. It's nice. It's really nice. So I mean, I still have a ways to go. Obviously, like I have to make the 6-month mark, and then I have a doctor appointment, an aortic specialist appointment, checking out some vascular stuff at the end of this month. So hopefully that'll go well. But yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm balancing the medication better, and things are going well. So thank you for asking. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about, and I'm looking around my desk because I know I have a symbol of twin flame energy, and I couldn't find it readily. And I'm like, okay, this is going to bug me because I feel like my stuff is off, and I don't like that. I don't like how off it is. It feels off. Okay. I feel like crooked. Don't I feel crooked? Okay. There we go. A little bit better. All right. I was looking for a symbol of twin flame energy, and I have one, but I could not find it, of course. How it goes. 'Tis what it is. And there is something coming on this topic of twin flames that I'm going to share with you, a special thing that I'm going to share with you, that if you are more curious, if you're curious about this, or you're curious about my personal story about it, there's going to be an opportunity to connect with me intimately about it. And I'm going to share that on Valentine's Day. It's like a service thing that I'm going to do, but you'll have to see on Valentine's when I post that. Yeah, I'm getting teasy on my stuff now, you guys. Come on. You got to be a little sassy on it. Okay, my friends, let's begin by saying twin flame and soulmate. These are different things. These are not the same things. These are different things. And I know people will lump them together and under this guise of this romantic story and this sweep you off your feet and fantasy like fairy tale energy. And who doesn't want some good, kind of fun energy in their love life, or attraction energy, or that sparkly new relationship energy? Yeah. Like who doesn't? What is this? This is not a good move. Like I'm out at the bar and I'm doing this. I'm a little bit like the she version of Chandler. I'm so cool. We got to use a sense of humor today, my friends, because the twin flame stuff is serious. It's serious business. I'm not kidding you guys. Okay. You don't be playing with the twin flame energy. It fucks you up. And I have the proof for that. Yes, I do. And what is the deal with me showing my scar all the time? I don't know. Like it's a thing. Like, look how badass I am. I always go like this, like people understand what I'm talking about. They don't understand. If I just point, nobody knows. It's a personal thing, I guess. It gives me like a superpower. But I had a friend of mine recently, I shared this on the Sunday morning coffee yesterday, that I had a friend of mine recently that said, nobody can fuck with your energy. She's like, nobody, bitch, please, she said. Nobody can mess with your energy. You have a whole new heart. Like your aorta was rebuilt. She said, you should be dead. You're not dead. You are like super freaking human. I'm like, okay, well, I wouldn't go that far. However, she's right. And so I'm like, the metaphysical and the physical come together, and they impact and influence each other, whether you acknowledge it or not. And you as an empath feel both. So stress impacts your heart, and your heart is your physical heart will then respond and create scenarios for you, maybe tightness in your chest, maybe anxiety, maybe shortness of breath, maybe some blockages, kind of a thing. Everything, you've heard me say this before, everything that happens in your physical body is both a metaphysical thing and a physical thing. There's two parts to all of them, the human and the spiritual, the physical and the metaphysical. You've got to understand this, because then when you are healing, you will not be frustrated, regardless of what you're healing from, because you know that you have this other thing, this spiritual component. And that's kind of what the twin flame and the soulmate thing are also. Okay. They're kind of almost this spiritual fantasy like energy that we place upon these two things. But the truth is, they are very different scenarios and ways to understand relationship and our hearts and our loving hearts and how we are connected and attached to other people. I'm not talking attachment theory. I'm not talking, are you anxiously attached? I'm not talking, are you avoidant attachment? No, I'm not talking about attachment styles. I'm talking about the way that our webs and our energies and our grids connect with other people from other lifetimes and also in this one. So you got double layer. You got like a double decker sandwich there. You got to be taken into account because you have the past life scenario, and that's what the soulmates and the twin flame pieces are intertwined with. This is why I say a lot, don't go playing with past lives, because past life stuff is a lot of info. You need professional assistance when you do that kind of stuff, because when you remember things, it can totally take you off this plane and into another area. And if you're not fully integrated, you're gonna lose your freaking mind, and at the very least be ADD and really distracted and not understanding what's happening. Because you will look at a person, a human person, and you will see the soul of them that your soul remembers. It's like a reflection of that other lifetime. And unless you can do things with that information in this timeline, it does not help you. It hurts you. Do you understand me? It doesn't help. It hurts. Okay. I'm going to be very dramatic in this video. Not like I'm not anyway. I'm a big ham. I'm all cheesy, right? But I'm going to be dramatic and I'm going to be direct. And I'm going to share with you my understanding about this. And I've lived it. And I'm a psychic person. And I'm a clearer, by the way. Like years ago, I was trained in clearing. I was attuned to clearing. I had spirit guides help me with it. I actually did physical in-person stuff. I have done clearing. I understand energy, okay? And because of the twin flame stuff, I had experienced like psychic attack like I had never had in my lifetime. I was like, oh, people just, oh gosh, please, people just like, that stuff is just so dramatic. And it happened to me because of the twin flame energy. So this is serious. This isn't romantic. This is serious. This is understanding relationship. Okay. As humans, we are so desirous of connection with other people and of the sensory experience and expression of what we consider love to be, which is pure at its base foundation, just this connection, the touch, the union with, the pairing up of with another person, and the being in space with sharing physical space, and the sensory, the touch, the holding the hands, the hugs, the kisses, and the more intimate expression and the pleasurable experiences bring us to a point of, oh, this is why I came here for this. And then we romanticize it. We make it really kind of this big, incredible deal. And then we start to kind of sometimes get a little blurry on the boundaries of the energy of scenarios where like a twin flame situation or even a soulmate situation can be so overwhelming, and it can overload your circuitry, and it can create almost, especially with a twin flame, like an addiction. And that's how I would describe it. Like this crave, like when you have too much coffee and you have so much caffeine and then you go off the caffeine, then you get headaches because you have withdrawals. The same kind of thing happens with a twin flame energy. Twin flame, the reason why it's called flame is because it is really hot and intense. And that can be passionate, but it can also ignite anger and jealousy and lots of insecurity. And it can pull you out of your body and into this ethereal connection that you have with this person, its own little ethereal space bubble. And that is from another past life. So it pulls you off plane. So where we're living at here on the earthly plane in a physical body, it pulls you off plane. So you're in your human body, but you're also trying to connect with this person, and you become so desperate for that unification, the reunion of. And so twin flames are constantly being pulled together for the reunion, because the reunion releases something that has been agreed to from a past life experience or multiple lifetimes or from a soul expression before coming in. So it could be two spirit guides hanging out in the afterlife, kind of chilling, and they're having a conversation to support each other. And they agree they're best friends, maybe they're like best friends in soul land. And then they come back into bodies and then they agree to find each other to ignite, to let something loose, let something free, set something free. The phoenix rising from the ashes is a very good analogy to twin flame energy. Twin flame energy grabs a hold of you and it does not let go. It is hard to break. And it literally, for me, I'm going to just say, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say the word, I'm going to say the word. It feels like a curse. It feels like a curse. I thought I knew what twin flame was. I thought it was this deeper devotional connection to a soulmate. It kind of is that, but it's often tragic. It's often trauma-filled and comes at a time when you're at a crossroads, and so are they, and you release each other. You trigger each other constantly, and you release each other into hopefully the remembrance of being more of who you are. And that's what happened for me. I did remember more of who I was, but it was a very difficult and challenging time the last 2 years trying to work through that. It's been really rough. But like I said, I thought I knew what twin flame was. I didn't. I totally misunderstood. I think that's normal. Again, I haven't read stuff on this. I'm not like, I haven't gone to a professional that's told me all about this or whatever. I've lived it. Therefore, I'm claiming expertise, subject matter expert. And so watch for Wednesday when I announce something about twin flame stuff that I can help you with. And on my public Above Life channel, I'm not going to share about my personal story directly about twin flame, but privately I will. So, because I know it can help people, I do know it can. So, am I trying to scare you? Yes. Why is that? Well, because fear motivates people. Actually, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just telling you the truth. And I have worked with a couple of other people. I have at least two, maybe actually I have 3 clients that have experienced twin flame energies, and all of them have ended in tragedy. One has never come to fruition up to this point in time. They've never actually united and shared the common understanding that they are twin flames. The other was a scenario where they just got together and the person died. I'm not kidding. True. And the third scenario of clients that I've worked with up to this point is somebody who's had this like cycle with this person that's really whirlwind romantic, going on trips together, having wonderful times together, and just whirlwind romantic trips, and then not talking for months, and then whirlwind trips and not talking for months, and whirlwind trips, not talking for months. And the twin flame is often very either in about half of the cases that I've experienced or that I have had, that I've worked with people, and I've also experienced myself, about half of the cases, the twin flame is so self-absorbed that they don't even know that the other person would literally give them a kidney. Like they just don't know. They're so in their own space and self-absorbed with their lives. And maybe it's because they're dealing with trauma, or maybe they're coming to terms with something in their own lives. Twin flame energy is like that. And this other person is there just to support them and love them. And sometimes it's loving them from afar, but you can't get them out of your head. It could be that old high school sweetheart that you just can't get them out of your head. And there's an energy bond there. And so, and that can be not just tumultuous, but difficult, because then it holds you back from really experiencing kindness and compassion and a loving partner that is equally yoked. As a friend of mine said, she's like, you need to be with someone where you're equally yoked. I'm like, okay. And as empaths, we really can forget how much we are giving until all of a sudden we're at our wit's end. We feel depressed, we're sad, we're detached, we're just not ourselves anymore, because we've been living for this other person to maybe wake up and remember us, to feel the same way. And it's not that they don't maybe love you, it's that they just don't remember it. They don't have the same consciousness in time, or they needed something different. And the agreement that you had, your soul agreement, the contract for the twin flame, was not to have a happy ending. Now, I have been told that twin flames can have happy endings. I've been told that. Now, I haven't experienced that myself personally, but I guess, I mean, I have what, 25, 30 years of my life left, probably 24 actually years of my life left. So maybe, I mean, it's possible you could reunite with your twin flame, but the union is often tragic and very difficult. So we're going to talk now about now that I've depressed you thoroughly on Valentine's week. Okay. I'm just telling you like it is. I'm not fluffing it up for you. Okay. I'm not. I'm just going to be direct. But you do learn things. You do learn things. You do get some things out of the experience and the situation, and you alchemize it. And I'm going to talk about that in my little thing coming up on Wednesday. I'm still writing the description for it. That's why it's not ready today. Just to be transparent. I'm like, oh, I have to do this. People will want this, but it has to be private because I'm not doing it public. I'm not outing anybody publicly. There's no names going to be given. Well, maybe privately. I might. No. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to share because it was really very, a huge part of my life that I never want to relive again. It was a difficult time. But for a purpose, right? Pain has a purpose. And so I'm going to share. We're going to alchemize that. So the energy of the soulmate piece is something that is much more lighthearted, and it's much more mate, friend, buddy, a partner to your soul. It's like that. And it could be your child. Oh, I should have mentioned too, the twin flame that I've seen has been all in romantic partnerships piece, like somebody like just like a love that's very imbalanced. Like one person gives and the other person just takes, like that kind of thing. Like like bad takes, not just kind of takes, but just really takes. And it might not be to their own, it might not be on purpose, but it really is just such an imbalance in the power dynamic of the love. It's just so unhealthy. And in a soulmate relationship, it's different. And it can be your kids or a neighbor or a friend or somebody you just really connect with, or a sibling, or maybe a parent even, or your love. It could be your love also. And soulmates, you have more than one. I haven't seen somebody that has had more than one twin flame. It doesn't mean it's not possible. I just haven't seen it yet. And in my work in the future, I might see that. I would suspect I may see that. I don't know what this is about. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I know. But I do think that, sorry, somebody's watching me and texting me. Will you stop? No, I'm super distracted. I know you're just trying to help. Let's see. All right. I don't know what you mean anyway. So soulmates. All right. So I am going to also say that I suspect that twin flame energy might also be with a parent or with a sibling or with a child. It's really an imbalance of how it looks on the human plane is an imbalance of power. But let's remember, there was an agreement about this. And so understanding what the agreement is key. So it's not that like you blame that person necessarily. I totally do. Like I got some grudges. I'm working through layers of clearing and healing. It's natural to have that kind of experience. But the metaphysical part of it is the place where you grow and where you alchemize and where it's medicine. It becomes medicine for you. And then like for me, I get to help other people now in this arena, and I am badass at it. So because I can clear also, and cut the cords and I can see all that stuff. So it will really be helpful, right? And so I couldn't have known that before. I had no idea before. So let's focus on the soulmates because that seems more fun. So let's be clear. I am operating under some values, personal values and biases that I have, which might be different than yours because we're at different places on our spiritual journey and on our human journey. And you get to feel and experience and have different values. I'm not saying what I'm saying is right for everybody. It's not a one size fits all. That's not what spirit is. There's not rules about that. There's not rules. You get to decide what fits for you at this point. So if you're a person that follows a religious doctrine, you're welcome here. I'm not trying to change your mind or convince you of something different. I'm just sharing my experiences based upon my 20 plus years of psychic work and my personal experience the last 3 years. And I hope that it can help people. So I'm not telling you what is point blank, even though I speak with conviction because I've experienced it and I feel very strongly about it. So with the soulmate scenario, you kind of got to operate under the assumption that we've been around the block a few times. We've orbited the earth and had multiple incarnations. So you kind of have to understand that I'm operating under the assumption of the premise of reincarnation and that we have the choice to do that or not. And how we do that is also a little bit up for negotiation. But when we get here, we don't remember any of that. We don't remember that. And there's a series of trying to reconnect to that little map in your belly, that compass, that soul light. That's why everybody wants to know about intuition, because we want that unification within ourselves, because that's the first soulmate you got is you. And little kids know this. Little kids are super open and all happy and joyful. And that's how the spirit is when it's that pure form and it's entered into the body. It's born into the body, and then it learns how to acclimate to the surroundings and to kind of, go with the flow and that kind of thing. And it's confusing. And that's why little kids probably don't talk and they just observe the first couple of years. And I'm like, what the heck are these people doing? And this is why little kids or younger children often will have more paranormal or psychic experiences or see grandma who's crossed over and all that kind of stuff, because they're not as judgmental about things or black and white about things as we are as we get older, because we kind of have to be that way to be able to function in the world. So don't dig on yourself for not feeling intuitive. Just know that you're an empathic being, which means you understand energy, and your empathy in your heart space is so intuitive. It is when it's connected with or reunified with your solar plexus, your spirit, your true spirit self. That's when the union happens. That's when the soul is mated and you really have so much more access to life, the world, the wisdom that you've been looking for is there, and it comes through much easier in that regard with less obstacles or barriers. Okay. So soulmate, you are your first one. And mates are friends, right? Or people that you care about, that are your chums, that are along for the journey with you. So you might have soulmate that is a husband or your wife or a lover or a friend or a child or a parent or a sibling. It can be anybody. It doesn't have to be, and it doesn't have to be, you can have lots and lots and lots of soulmates. So it could be somebody that you just meet and you just feel connected to. You're like, I don't know why I feel so connected, but I feel connected. And this is new. So y'all know that Above Life Channel started as a channeling with afterlife celebrity guests, which there's still access to all of those playlists. So you can spend some time on those playlists if you choose to do that. And it started with Prince in the afterlife when he transitioned in 2016. It was like a year or 2 years later that I started this channel. Lots of playlists for that. And I was reminded by a good psychic friend of mine last night that I actually did a video with Prince asking about soulmates and twin flames. So there is a video about it from the afterlife. So it is possible, yes, that you could have a famous celebrity that is a soulmate. And that doesn't mean you get to be together. That's not what soulmates mean. It means there's a connection between your spirit and their spirit. And it doesn't have to be realized in this lifetime. Okay. It doesn't have to come to fruition or be manifested. It doesn't mean romance. Okay. We had to stop projecting this fantasy version of love and mixing it with some alchemical version of metaphysics and projecting it into our human life experience, because that is not what it is. Okay, let's be a little more practical about this metaphysics. Let's be practical about metaphysical concepts, because you're dealing with two planes and two things. So it doesn't have to be the love of your life, but it can be. And the chances are, if you have been with someone that you just adored and you've had such a deep connection with, yeah, they're a soulmate. And you can have many of them. Okay. Many of them. And how beautiful that our souls have these groups of tribes of other spirits that sometimes might just come into your life because you guys are hanging out at a workshop and you just meet and you click and you connect, but you only see each other for the time of the workshop and that's it. And they go along their way. But your heart is like, oh, you got some joy in your heart because of the connection made, the reunion made with that person on this plane in this lifetime, right? So that's a sweetness, a gift. That is awesome. That is a feel-good kind of a thing. You don't have to make it more than what it is. I think we have this natural tendency to want more, 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 and make things mean more. Or we are the opposite end and we don't notice things. That's like, you guys, we have to come into the center and be in alignment with these experiences, because they have some information to give us. They have support. And sometimes it's just that energetic boost in our heart space of just a wonderful time, a pleasant experience. Okay. That's not to say that soulmates can't cause you pain. If you got kids that are soulmates, they can cause you pain, but there's an up and down, kind of an ebb and a flow to things with the soulmate relationship when you're actually in a relationship with a soulmate, where there's this like underlying respectful energy, or maybe not respectful energy, maybe an honoring of a deeper understanding and an honoring of the experience. And a lot of people will say soulmate, soulmate, soulmate. And not everybody is a soulmate. Just because they're in your life doesn't mean they're a soulmate either. So it's not black and white. It's not black and white. It's much different than what we have been taught, I think. That's what I'll say. All right, so I want to say hello to the chat. Good morning. Watch for what I'm going to share on Wednesday about twin flames. Let's say hello to the chat. Hey, Lisa. Hi there. Hi, Anne. Hi. Anne and Anna. We got two Anns and Annas in the chat. Oh, Deja, nice to see you. Finally caught me live. Oh, yay. Hey, you better be doing your homework, girl. You better be doing your homework. Don't be skipping class to be on the live stream. Okay. Hi, nice to see you. Hey, you guys, make sure you catch yesterday. The Sunday morning coffee was long. It was like almost an hour, but it was good stuff. It was really good stuff. And we did some heart healing. In the heart, we talked about heart flames, which is different than twin flame or soulmate, but we talked about heart flames. So you'll have to check that out. That was a really good one. I personally, I'm like, oh, I should use this as a teachy one in the future because it's a really good one. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I feel like I've shared what I need to share about this topic of twin flame and soulmates. So again, I'm going to kind of point you to some of the videos. Apparently, I have one with Prince where we talked about soulmates and twin flames. So you might want to watch that as well. I'm sure I have other content about this topic. And it's evolved over time because I didn't have an experience with twin flame. I thought I did. I thought it was like this romanticized version of a really high level soulmate. It's different. It's not that. It's not that. It is not that. It is very different than that. And so I think it's really important to understand the terminology. And there's other people that are going to use these terms interchangeably. And I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying it's a very different thing. And so make sure you know somebody's definition. If you're hiring a psychic to like do a reading for you, like a romantic reading or something like that, then you might want to make sure you know what they're talking about. You know, if you're on the same page, that kind of thing. Okay. All right. Okay, my lovelies. Thank you so much for being here on Above Life channel on our Monday video. I look forward to connecting with you again. And I'm trying to think, what else do I have going? I don't have any clients today, but if you want to be a client, take a look at when this is live, take a look at the description below because you'll see some new service offerings and there's going to be more popping up on Wednesday. So, all right. I hope I've inspired your spirit today, filled you with some hope. I hope I haven't like been a big downer here. But I need to tell you what I know. Like I need to pass that along to you so that you can use that with your personal life experience and make sense of things for yourself and decide what values you have and what understanding you come to, because you are the expert on you. Okay. You are the expert on you. So trust yourself. Okay. Trust yourself and your discernment. All right. No matter what kind of relationships you're in, trust yourself, trust your intuition because you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. So I hope I've inspired your spirit, filled you with some hope, and encouraged you to live your life with your connection to your own wisdom. Okay. Because this is your life after all, and you get to live it. You get to decide how you're going to live it. So just live it. Thanks for being here.